Hi everyone, welcome back to Parenting Insight, where we talk matters children and parenting. So in the previous video, I mentioned on the importance of teaching our children to tell us about their day, and especially when we're dealing with younger children, that is a skill that they have to learn, and we as parents have also to learn how to first ask questions about their day, how we frame questions about their day, and also we have to be able to show by example how to talk about our day, how to talk about our experiences, how to talk about our feelings, and so forth. So I had mentioned that I will go further into this on this video. So I made something. Here it is. It's basically just a draft of something that you can use. I would rather use a bigger paper, something like a manila paper, something that stands out, to help our children to tell us about their day. So here I've written a child's name, just as an example, a child's name, and on this column I would put the 7 days of the week, from Sunday to Saturday, or from Monday to Sunday, whichever way you prefer. And then just remember, we mentioned about just asking children each child to come up with just 3 colors that represent three distinct feelings, which is happiness, sadness, and a day that was had a feel of a mixed feeling, had some sad incidences and some happy incidences. So we call it mixed. So you have happy column here, you have sad column here, and you have mixed column here. Again, depending on your child, on each of your children, and whether they prefer to write, that is, if they're able to write. If they're younger, then you have to use more visuals to help trigger their memory, to help remind them what, first of all, the color codes they pick. So if a child, for example, first of all, you can because younger children are visual. Usually younger children as young as daycare and thereabout would be able to tell distinct faces, happy face, sad face, and then you can introduce a face that represents mixed feelings. So you have a happy face, you have a sad face, and you have a face that represents mixed feelings. And then make sure to go through this with a child so that they understand. And if possible, you can actually draw the faces on stickers that are colored representative to what they chose. So if a child mentioned that, for example, red is their happy day, then you can pick a red sticker and draw the smiley face on it. And if they say, for example, blue represents their sad day, then you can pick a blue sticker and draw the sad face on it. So that way, both the color and the image of the facial expressions trigger the child's memory in remembering what exactly the sticker represents and what they're supposed to put on that column. And then for the mixed, you can also just get a colored sticker that represents the color that they picked to represent a day that had both happy and sad experiences. And then on each day, you can either ask a child to put, you can find something like these are just pieces of, I don't know if to call them Lego or something, just these manipulatives that usually younger kids would have to build stuff. And you can just pick stuff like big stickers that have the different colors. It's easy to get stickers in color red, in color yellow, in color green, and then have the child put the sticker on Monday. Let them put a sticker according to their day. And you can either have this conversation either by first having the conversation with the child on also how was your day, and then they express what their day was like. My day was, for example, for this child, I allocated pink to represent a happy day. So Sandra, how was your day today? My day. What color was your day today? My day was pink. And then Sandra can put the pink sticker on the happy column, and then she can go ahead and explain why her day, she feels that she had a pink day. And then she try and again, as we mentioned in the previous videos, just try and ask, so what was it about your day that made you feel happy? You can even ask who made you your day, who made you happy today, what did they do to make you happy, how did they behave to make you happy, so that when you ask those particular questions, the what, the who, the how, the when, you're able to get a feel of your child's day. So for example, Sandra could say, today Lucy made me happy, so you know who. And then why did she make you happy? Today Lucy shared her toys with me. When did she make you happy? When we were having group work in class. And so you get to have a feel of, first of all, that there's a child called Lucy in Sandra's class, and then you get to know that Lucy was kind to Sandra. And the same goes with when your child has had a sad day. They're able to say, oh, so and so made me sad today. What did they do? Then they'll say, oh, they kicked me, or they ate my break, and so forth. So asking the who, the what, the when, the how, the which would also be a good way for us as parents to be able to, to format our thoughts, so to speak, so the words help us remember what questions to ask. And then for the mixed day, this one is important because you have to remember that the child has to give you both versions of the happy and the sad, so that they're able to tell why there was a mixed. And another thing I've noted about mixed, even while I as a mother when I'm going through this with my child, is mixed days also give a good representation of what life is like. Life is not all happy and life is not all sad. So mixed days also give you a platform to start, teaching your child to appreciate the good, and also to handle the negative, if applicable, in a positive way. Like for example, or today if a child, for example, if Sandra says, for example, today my day was black because what can I say? Because I didn't get to play with my friends. Then you can ask, oh, so who are your friends? And then Sandra would say, oh, my friends are A and B. And then you'd ask, oh, so how come you weren't able to play with your friends? Then maybe Sandra would say something like, oh, today they didn't come to ask if they can play with me, or, they didn't offer to play with me. So that represents a sad day for Sandra, which is okay, by the way. Don't invalidate any of the feelings, because even you and I don't want someone to decide for us what is happy, what is sad, what is painful, what's not painful. I mean, we have a human right to feel what we feel and to be able to express it and to go through the motions. So then you can take that opportunity, first of all, to show sympathy to Sandra for feeling alienated on that particular day, on today, that she felt lonely and she didn't feel like her friends wanted her to be part of their team and so forth. But you can also take that as an opportunity from a mixed day to say, and then also because Sandra will have mentioned about the happy day. So what happened? What was there a happy part of your day? Was there pink in your day today? Especially using colors makes it, I don't know, interesting to chat about. So what was a pink in your day? You said you had a mixed day. What was a pink in your day? And let's say, oh, I enjoyed, let's say I enjoyed coloring, or let's say, my friend so and so was making funny jokes in class, and then you can say, oh, that's very good. So teach the child to appreciate the good, and also to be able to, what can I say, to handle the bad, because I don't think it's everything that you need to teach a child to overcome. I think, for example, if a child is being bullied, they don't need to overcome being bullied. It needs to be dealt with, because bullying is not something that a child sits and overcomes. It's something that needs to be addressed and needs to be stopped. But in the case where we've given an example of Sandra, where Sandra is talking about, or her friends didn't approach her to play with her, then you can take that opportunity to also teach Sandra that, what, next time, how about you also try to approach your friends and ask if they would like to play with you, so that some of the things that even we as adults, some of the things that make us sad or make us feel down or make us have a bad day, if you really just tweak our perception of of whatever happened that day, we realize that sometimes, half the time, we actually have solutions to the problem. We have things that we can do to make the day better or to have a better outcome. So This is just an example. You can choose whatever you want to choose. I use stickers, and I have a big manila paper that you can put on the fridge. You can put on the door. You can put on the wall. You can put somewhere where it's visible. It's easy for you to see, and then that triggers you to have this conversation with each and every child. And as you're going about the day, also don't forget that when we are asking children to give us feedback about their day, and because this is a practice that we need to start from when children are younger, and we need not stop it when they're older, remember you also need to give feedback about your day, right? And of course, this is something that even you as a parent, you learn the skill of, because sometimes there's so much in our adult world that you can't really get into the details with a child about. So again, this also polishes our ability to express ourselves to our children. So if I'm talking about, if my happy color is yellow and if my happy color is yellow, and then I'll be able to say I had a yellow day because today I was well. For example, if I had been unwell, today I was well, or I was able to do my work, and and I was able to take you to school and pick you from school, or whatever it is. And then especially when we're dealing with the sad, because then children also learn from us what qualifies for sadness. So this might also, you'll be amazed about how it's not easy to actually give feedback to your child about your day, because you really have to think through how you want to bring it across, and then you have to also sieve age appropriately the kind of feedback and that you want to share with your child about your day. So this is just a sample. You go ahead and make yours and let me know how this works. It's always nice to hear how what we are trying to do and what we are sharing, if it's beneficial, how is it working, is it bringing out the best in your child, is it teaching your child to be more expressive? Because for me, this I think teaches enhances your communication with each of your children, because you really have to go through your day. If you didn't have this, then it would be very easy to say, oh, my day was good, my day was bad. But this, you have to give details. Why was your day pink? Why was your day black? Why was your day green? And then so that first of all enhances communication between you and each of your children. Secondly, it helps you both to be able to express yourselves in a less reserved way, because if you have to explain why your day was happy, then that already pushes you to give more details and, oh, I just had a good day, or my day was okay. We do a lot of good and okay. And and thirdly, it becomes something that teaches your child to embrace their feelings and to be able to identify how they feel, and to be able to attach a feeling to an occurrence. So today I had a sad day because it was my first day in school, and when you dropped me and left, I felt really sad. I cried. So they're able to attach sadness to separation and all that. So I find this really, it looks simple, and I love simple stuff, but I find it simple and quite helpful. So go ahead and give it a shot, and let me know how this turns out. So see you on the next one.